Oh, there we go. I can hear me now. I can hear me now. I just feel like a really old cell phone commercial just there. Can I hear me now? Good. Testing, testing, testing. Hello. We are in Amigo. Under 20 minutes to go before tip-off. Girls Sub-State Championship. Hello. To the 1, to the 2, to the 3. The band is warming up. They're not quite hot yet, but they are warming up. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Good. We're good. We're good. I might want to turn me down because I could hear me. So I'm going to turn that down a little bit.
You can explain it whatever you want to.
And turn that up. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Okay. All right. Well, apparently, to hear me in the headphones, it's got to be cranked all the way up, which is weird. Okay. But it works. Let's not screw with it.
Well, now something else I got to do.
All right. I'm going to go get starters and figure out how to say a couple of their names.
Okay.
Which I'm sure everybody listening on YouTube just there wants to know. And welcome to Wamego High School as we get ready for 4A sub-state basketball action here again this afternoon, I should say. Girls action here today as we will have the same two teams that played last night, Wamego and Holton. Your starting lineups will start with your home Wamego Red Raiders there in their white jerseys. They'll be led onto the floor by Paige Donnelly, Tori Hubler, Ashton Pearson, Ryan Alderson, Cadence Keeker will also round out the starting five for your 15-5 Wamego Red Raiders. They beat Hayden on Wednesday 42-32 to advance here to the finals. Starting for Holton will be Paige Paxton, a 5'5 senior. Sadie Tanking, a 5'8 senior, will join her on the court. Brooke Fleewelling, a 5'10 sophomore, followed by Macy Patch, a 5'9 junior, and Emma Barnett, a 5'6 senior for Holton, who is 10-11 on the season. They beat Atchison pretty handily on Wednesday, 62-30. Both of these two teams looking for their first state tournament berth since 2014. As Wamego, of course, had a state championship back in 2013, followed it up with another state berth that year. Holton has not been in the state tournament since 2014. They had a run of about 5 straight years from 2007 to 2012. Took a break in 2013 before coming back in 2014. Have not made it back to the state tournament since. Of course, the state tournament will be played a little bit differently this year due to COVID. Quarterfinals will be at the higher seed on Monday and Tuesday, so the 4A girls will actually play on Tuesday. Then the 4A semis and finals will be at the Tony Pizza Event Center in Salina, the former Bicentennial Center in Salina on March 11th through the 13th. That'll be the Thursday through Saturday. Boys first on Thursday, girls on Friday. No third place game this year. Other games in 4A today include Nickerson and McPherson, Clay Center and Concordia, Circle and Andale, Clearwater and Wellington, Bishop, Miege and Baldwin, Lewisburg and Fort Scott, Lebec County, and Chanute. So those teams will be competing to join either Wamego and Holton in the state championship game. We're about ready to get underway here at Wamego High School. As it will be Holton with the ball first, and again on the inbound, and it will be Macy Patch inbounding it for the Wildcats. She kicks it into Tanking, and in across the front court. She's guarded closely by Hubler. Red Raiders in a man defense. Right now it's Patch with it, trying to get inside. Gets it off to Tanking, who gets fouled as she goes up for the shot underneath the basket. And that's going to be our first team foul against Wamego, and it will be a shooting foul. That goes against Alderson for the Red Raiders. First attempt for Tanking went in, barely moved the net as it sank in, so 1-0 our first score of the game. That second one went in too, and Holton has a 2-0 advantage. Pearson into the front court. Over to Hubler, now back up top to Alderson. Playing hot potato with it are the Red Raiders. It's Pearson with it, now getting that off to Alderson. Back to Pearson, it's Hubler with it. Up top to Donnelly, over on the far side. Now playing again, kind of hot potato with it, trying to get around this zone defense that Holton is putting up. Big three-point attempt misses from Hubler. Rebound goes to the Red Raiders. And Donnelly with the three, and we're going to get a foul up underneath, as that was Pearson trying to get the rebound, and she's going to get knocked to the court. So we've barely played a minute, and there's 2 fouls, 1 on each team. That one goes against Emma Barnett, the senior. And the first attempt from Pearson rattles around a little bit, finally drops in. Second attempt for the sophomore is up, and that one's a little off the mark. Rebounded by Holton. But the Raiders are right in Holton's face. They're going for a full court press here. Paxton with the ball, guarded closely by Pearson. Finally gets across half court. Pearson is all over Paxton right now. Paxton has to pick up her dribble, bounces it off to Barnett. Barnett trying to go inside, double team, loses control of it. And that's going to be a travel against Holton. Wamego basketball. Pearson kicks it into the front court to Donnelly. Now up top to Alderson. Over on the far side to Pearson. Again, a 3-2 zone being played right now by Holton. Those are always difficult to try to get inside with. Is Amigo trying to go inside. That was Donnelly. A little off the mark on that shot. Rebound goes to Holton. Tanking into the front court. Trying to get inside. Dumps it off. That's a nice pass there to Patch. Now to Paxton. Barnett with it. Kicks it over on the far side to Patch. And Patch loses it. She got hit a little bit on the backside. And the ball's going to be popped out of bounds. It will be off of Wamego. And it will be Holton. We see our first substitutions of the game as Amira Allen comes in. As does Stacy Bond for the... as does... as Brooke Flewell. Trying to catch up with everybody that's on the court right now. As there's a mass substitution there. Also seeing Amira Allen and Lindsay Wisdom on the floor for Holton. Pearson into the front court for Wamego. She dumps it off over on the baseline to Huber. Now up top. And they pass it around to Donnelly. Donnelly back up top to Pearson. Over to Pearson for three. No good. Just a little off the mark. Ball loose on the floor. Picked up by Holton. It's Allen with it. She's going to try to scramble to get around Donnelly into the front court. Donnelly with some great defense. Picks the pocket. Ball loose on the ground. Gets the pass off to Pearson. And we're going to get a backcourt violation. As apparently Pearson was not in the front court when she picked it up. Unfortunately, but that was a great defensive effort there by Donnelly to get the ball away from Holton. Still 2 on our score, 5:22 to play. And now we get a backcourt violation the other way, and it'll be turned over to Wamego. So Pearson with the ball now into the front court. Again, trying to work out this zone defense from Holton. Huber with it over on the far sideline. Gets it to Pearson. Pearson working her way up top. Now over to Donnelly. Donnelly kicks it back out to Alderson. Alderson for three. Just a little off the mark. And again, no score yet. It's 2-1. We played 3 minutes here in the first. Up underneath, that was a wild shot by Allen, and it's rebounded by Hubler. Pearson now with it, sets up the offense, backs up in between the circles. Kicks it over to Donnelly. Donnelly now over to Hubler. Hubler in the corner. Pearson for three. Again, just a little off the mark. The lid is on the basket for the Red Raiders when it comes to distance shots. Holton, and there was some aggressive defense there by Paige Donnelly, and she's going to get a little too much contact. And that will be the second team foul against Wamego. As Donnelly's going to take a step outside, and we're going to see Trista Hubler checking into the ball game for the Red Raiders. That is the first one for Donnelly on the night. Wisdom working her way into the front court. Trying to get to the basket, gets it up underneath to Patch. And another foul going to be called up underneath on the Red Raiders. Patch was trying to get aggressive in there, and Alderson was standing her ground, but just got a little too aggressive, picked up her second personal. Third team foul. She's going to take a seat on the bench. Ball gets inbounded, and the ball's picked away by Pearson on the inbound. She goes for the lay-in. Count the basket. And Wamego takes the lead for the first time. 3-2, 4 minutes to play here in the first. And on the inbound, Amira Allen takes a little bit of a walk with it, so the turnover goes back to Wamego. Paige Paxton checking into the ball game, going to replace Amira Allen. As the inbound now goes to Hubler. That would be Tori Hubler. And it's now Trista Hubler for three. Drains it! That is a long three for the sophomore. And it's a 4-point lead now for the Raiders, 6-2. Paxton into the front court. Pearson all over, trying to get to the bucket. Puts up a wild shot. Not a really good look at that. Rebounded goes to Keeker. Into the front court. They kick it off to Hubler. Tori Hubler, that is. Now she works her way up top. Gets it to Trista Hubler. And on the pass off to Pearson. Pearson unfortunately took an extra step before putting the ball on the wood. And as a travel turnover to Holton. Taking gets the inbound for now for Holton. Again, 3:15 to play here in the first. Wamego on a 5-point run, a 5-0 run right now, 6-2. Pass across the court to Paxton. Had some trouble handling it. Trista Hubler doing a great job on the defense. They get it up underneath to Lindsay Wisdom. And she tried a circus shot, couldn't make it fall. Rebound goes to the Raiders. Pearson with the ball, hands it off now to Trista Hubler. Now up top to Tori Hubler. She goes into the lane, finds a hole, sinks it in. And we get a timeout taken by head coach Kurt Heisler of Holton as the Wamego Red Raiders have gone on a 7-0 run over the last couple of minutes. They lead 8-2 here in the first quarter. It's 2:43. I am Chris Swick, by the way, calling the game here on WTC. Thank you for joining us. Also streaming this online here tonight. You want to note some other games around the area. Riley County girls actually taking on Silver Lake right now in the 3A state finals, or some state finals, I should say. The Rock Creek boys will take on St. Mary's a little bit later this evening. So those games are going on right now, trying to get a score update at some point for the Riley County game. Last update we had, it was halftime. We'll try to see if we can't get a more updated game. It looks like at the end of the third quarter, very great game between Silver Lake and Riley County. 30-29 that score at the end of the third. We are back in action here in Wamego, though, with the Red Raiders up 8-2. Holton with the ball. They have it in the front court. Is tanking, loses control of it. Some great defense there by Trista Hubler. Forces tanking to kind of put it off of her shoe out of bounds, and it's Wamego basketball. Ashton Pearson into the front court. Kicks it out to Trista Hubler. Alexis Billings into the ball game right now for Wamego. She fires a three, just a little too high off the top of the glass. Shot goes a little wild, and it's Holton basketball. Paige Paxton with it on the near side, guarded by Billings. Over on the far sideline to Stacy Bond. Trying to get inside, some great man defense right now by the Red Raiders. Zimma Barnett with it. She kicks it back out to Bond. Bond now up top to Lindsay Wisdom. Wisdom. Guarded shot, no good. Ball is loose on the ground. As Emma Barnett tried to put up a shot to avoid the jump ball and actually forced a foul against Wamego. That's actually going to be against Cadence Keeker. That is her first personal, fourth team foul for Wamego, as Barnett's first one kind of rolls around on the rim and goes out. So it remains 8-2 with about 1:45 to play here in the first quarter. Wisdom's going to take a seat, by the way, for Holton. Second one for Barnett does go in. And we're going to get two more substitutions for Holton as well, as head coach Kurt Heisler does like to make use of his bench. So Bond and Paxton come out. Allen and Wisdom come back in for Holton. Pearson into the front court. It's 8-3 in favor of Wamego. As Hubler has it, that is Tori Hubler. Gets it into the corner to Trista Hubler, who buries a three. That is 2 threes on the night for the sophomore, and it's 11-3 Red Raiders. Allen into the front court, guarded by Billings for Wamego. She loses control of it. Nice defense tonight here by Wamego, as they're forcing all sorts of turnovers and giving Holton all sorts of headaches. Alexis Billings with the great turnover that time, and Wamego back on the attack. Trista Hubler into the front court, gets it to Billings, now back out to Tori Hubler. Kind of playing hot potato with it a little bit. They get Holton working that zone defense, which does make it hard to get inside. Up top to Addison Denny, who's into the ball game. Back to Hubler for three. No good, just a little off the mark. Rebound goes to Holton. We're under a minute to play here in the first. It is 11-3 Red Raiders. Chance to go to state on the line. And we get a travel as Holton picked up the basketball. That was Brooke Flewell with it. And she took an extra step before she put the ball on the hardwood. And Wamego again back on the attack. We got about 35 seconds to play here in the first. I imagine this will be held for the final shot for Wamego as they are up 8. On essentially a 10-1 run over the last 6 minutes. So it's Pearson with it, that's Trista Hubler with it. Near half court, holding it for the final shot. Under 10 seconds to play, and she works her way over to the far side. Into the corner, gets it to Tori Hubler, puts up the jump shot off the back of the backboard. And that will be the first quarter. After a little bit of a slow start shooting-wise, Wamego comes alive with 2 threes from Trista Hubler, and they lead 11-3 as we go into the second. We'll take a brief timeout, and I'll be right back with the second here. You're listening to Red Raider basketball on WTC. Again, a bit of a slow start for Wamego as they started the first quarter, but then came alive with a 10-1 run over the course of about 6 minutes or so in the first quarter. They do lead right now 11-3 as we get ready for the second quarter here in Wamego. Again, a chance to go to the state championship tournament on the line next week. Wamego with the basketball as we start out here the second quarter. As Billings with it, she works her way inside, kicks it back out to Hubler for three, buries it. That is 3 out of the night for Trista Hubler. 14-3, Wamego picking up right where they left off in the first quarter. Flewell into the front court, trying to work her way around. Billings gets a screen. That was an excellent screen there, but unfortunately, they can't make anything work with it as excellent defense there by Addison Denny pops the ball away from Sadie Tanking. Unfortunately, will be out of bounds off of Wamego. Tanking to inbound it for Holton, gets it inside to Paxton. Paxton backs it back out to Barnett, whose shot can't fall in, and it's rebounded by Denny for Wamego. Trista Hubler with the ball into the front court for the Raiders. Now it's over to Tori Hubler. Sets up the offense. Hands it off to Trista. Working her way up top. Now over to Billings. Trying to get it into traffic to Tori Hubler. And couldn't handle the pass. It goes out of bounds, and that will be Holton basketball. Again, neither of these teams have been in the state tournament since 2014. Both of them looking to get into that tournament next week. Against some very stiff competition. Bishop Miege, of course, always a powerhouse in 4A, boys or girls. See Patch working her way to the inside, can't make it work. Barnett just collided with Billings. No foul on that one. They're actually going to call that one away from the contact, as there was actually some contact up underneath. So that foul will go against Tori Hubler, her first 5 team fouls against the Red Raiders. And the first shot attempt there for Sadie Tanking rattles around, goes in. That is the first points since about this point in the first quarter for Holton. Her second one rolls in and out, and the rebound goes out of bounds. And again, some physicality there on the floor, not called. But I think that one was more the girls just got tangled up with each other. As Denny got wrapped up there with Macy Patch. We see Addison Denny with the ball now. Handing it off to Pearson. Pearson working away inside, dumps it off to Hubler. Hubler up top to Denny. Denny now over to Trista Hubler. Across the court to Trista Hubler. Now up top to Pearson. Tori Hubler with it. Again, the zone defense for Holton kind of giving Wamego fits as they're trying to get inside and just can't find a lane to get in there. So they're having to play the perimeter. Pearson dumps it off to Tori Hubler. Hubler to Pearson. She winds her way in. Kind of a circus throw. That was a gimme anyway. She got fouled before she let go. But she will go to the line as they count it as a shooting foul. No, actually, no. They're not going to count it as a shooting foul. I would have questioned that, actually. But you're going to see some substitutions. Grace Williams checks out of the ball game for Wamego. And again, some substitutions there for Holton. As the inbound goes to Hubler, she makes the three, but can't make it fall in. And we're going to get a foul on the attempted rebound. And again, Holton getting a little physical up underneath. See who the foul is called against. That's going to be against Macy Patch, her second. Just the second team foul against Holton as we see Taylor Moore checking into the ball game for the first time for the Wildcats. Inbound goes to Tori Hubler. Into the corner to Pearson for three. No good. Just a little bad. Almost got it in on the bounce back. Keeker gets the rebound and gets fouled as she comes down. And that one will send her to the line. Taylor Moore with her first personal. Fourth team foul now for Holton. Keeker shot beautiful as it goes right in. 15-4 Wamego. Keeker sets for his second shot on the way with about 5:48 to play in the first half. In and out. Rebound goes to Moore for Holton. So the Wildcats down 11, trying to get something going here in the second quarter. They fired it up underneath to Stacy Bond, and great defense there by Wamego, forcing that to back it back out. They get it to Paige Paxton, who's just a little bit short. She had a white jersey right in her face, couldn't make it fall. And Wamego on the attack as Pearson fires it to Trista Hubler. She works her way up to Tori. Now over to Pearson on the near sideline, up top. Across the court to Pearson. And again, Wamego just not able to get inside the way they want to. You can tell they're trying to find holes and just can't make it work. There's a three-point attempt. Can't make it fall. Denny with the shot. Rebound goes to Hubler. As Wamego continuing to keep this possession alive. Pearson to Trista Hubler. Now over to Denny. Denny tries to go inside. Doesn't have an open person. Now over to Pearson. Tries to go to the baseline. Again, puts the brakes out. Out to Hubler. Son him. Hot potato going on right now with the basketball for Wamego as they try to find a chink in this zone defense. Into the corner to Pearson. She gets the lane. Puts up the floater. Can't make it fall. Rebound Holton. But Pearson gets the steal. It's to Denny in the lane. Can't make it fall, but on the shot, she gets fouled. There's some great patient basketball right there for Wamego as they drew the foul, and that is actually you're going to say that's against Wamego. Addison Denny with her first personal. That's a 6th team foul. So Holton to inbound it. Some decent pressure there on the inbound from Wamego. Tanking with it, trying to work her way inside against Trista Hubler. 4:23 to play here in the second. And we get another foul on the floor, this time against Paige Donnelly. It'll be her second, 7th team foul. It'll actually put Holton in the bonus. 15-4 our score, 4:21 to play. As Donnelly will come out, and we're going to see Tori Hubler check back into the ball game. And because this is right now they have put Holton in the bonus, it will be 1-on-1 here. It will be free throws here for the rest of the first half anytime Wamego fouls. I think there's some confusion on the part of the officials on who had actually got fouled, so it will be Amira Allen on the line for Holton. So 1-1 on the way. And it goes in, no problem. She'll get the second opportunity. 10-point lead right now for Wamego, as Holton tries to claw their way back into it before the end of the first half. Second shot misses. Denny with the rebound, hands it off to Trista Hubler. Now to Pearson into the front court. Gets a little bit of a lane, but it closes up quickly. Has to back it out to Hubler. Now over to Trista Hubler, or Tori Hubler, excuse me. Across the court now, it's Pearson with it. And again, she tries to find that lane, and it just closes up quickly, but Trista Hubler, gets the floater in the lane. That was a nice heads-up play there. She gets it to 17-5. Allen into the front court. Gets it off. Oh, no, steal. Denny knocked it away from Moore. And Moore, in an attempt to get it back, just kind of almost horse-collared Denny. That is Moore's second personal, by the way. 5 team fouls now for the Wildcats, as we're going to see Barnett check back into the ball game for Moore. Also see the return of Brooke Fleewell. Stacey Bond takes a seat. Pearson into the front court for Wamego. 17-5 is our score. About 3.5 to play here in the first half. Pearson with it, just outside the lane. Kicks it back out to Denny for three. On the mark. Count the bucket, and it's 20-5, 15-point lead for Wamego. So it's Holton back on the attack. Allen with it. Loses her dribble just a little bit. Nice defense there by Trista Hubler. And the ball's going to get knocked around. It will be out of bounds off of Wamego, as Fleetwell was kind of ping-ponged between Keeker and Pearson. Barnett gets the inbound for Holton. She tries to fight her way inside, puts up a wild shot, ball loose. Denny gets the rebound after some physicality, and it's Pearson on the run, but can't quite get inside. Pearson on the baseline, backs it back out to Tori Hubler for three. Count it! Man, the threes are falling really, really well right now for Wamego. There's a timeout taken on the floor by Wamego. 23-5 is our score. 2:43 to play here in the first quarter. As again, we're playing sub-state basketball action here tonight. Let's see if we can't get some other scores from around the 4A sub-states. Looks like at the end of the first quarter, McPherson leading Nickerson 15-9. So we'll try to keep update. Again, we'll try to see if we can find some of these other scores. Not everybody is diligent about updating their social media. I can tell you that Riley County fell to Silver Lake in the 3A sub-state, 46-39. So the Falcons do end their season. Rock Creek boys will be playing here in just a little bit. 2:43 to play here as we come out of the timeout. And Holton is on the attack as Allen has it. Works her way across the court. Guarded closely. That's some nice defense there by Tori Hubler. Tries to dump it off to Wisdom, who fights her way to the bucket and draws the foul up underneath. So she will go to the line for the 1-and-1. That is against Cadence Keeker. As the first one for Wisdom goes in, that is Keeker's second, and she's going to take a seat for a little bit as we bring back in Grace Williams, excuse me. Second one there for Wisdom goes in, and it's 23-7 in favor of Holton. As Barnett's going to take a seat for Holton as they bring back in Brooke Fleewell. It's Trista Hubler up top, trying to float it inside to Williams. It's a little too much mustard on the pass, and it flies out of bounds. Holton basketball. So 2:20 to play here in the first half. 23-7 is our score. As Holton trying to get it in bounds, they just kind of have to baseball throw it down the field as Allen just did not have an open man. Great defense by the Red Raiders. And right now it is tanking, trying to fight to the baseline. Has to hand it off to Wisdom. Wisdom with a wild shot, count the basket. I don't know how that fell in, but it did. And it's 23-9, under 2 to play. Pearson setting up the offense. Kicks it over to Trista Huber. She goes to the baseline, kicks it over to Pearson on the far sideline, just a little short on that one. And we're going to get a jump ball call. Possession arrow goes to Holton. Denny with the heads up move on the rebound, and we do have an injured Holton player, as that one got a little physical down underneath. Trying to see the number. I believe that's Fleewelling. Actually, I believe she hit hard. Actually, no, that is Macy Patch. I think she hit her head a little bit. She's a little woozy, you can tell, as head coach Kurt Heisler is talking to her on the court. As we've got an injury timeout. You hate to see that, especially here in the sub-state finals, but crowd giving her a nice round of applause. Macy Patch, a junior, when she collided with, to be Denny there up underneath on the attempted rebound, I do believe she hit her head a little bit. You can tell she's a little woozy. Hopefully that she's able to clear concussion protocol and continue playing, but they are going to take her back to the training room to check on her. So we get back underway here. It is Holton basketball, as Allen takes it into the front court, gets it to Barnett. Barnett fights her way inside, and she's going to draw the foul once again, as Addison Denny is all over the place right now, doing some work on defense and offense. And that's going to be a block. Her second personal foul, 9 team fouls right now. One away from the double bonus. And Barnett's first one bounces off the back of the iron. So a minute 39 to play. We see some substitutions coming in, as looks to me Williams and Denny both take a seat for the Red Raiders. I'll tell you who came into place in just a moment. The second shot misses. So Maya Gallagher into the ball game for the Red Raiders. You also see Alderson back in. She has the ball in between the circles over to Trista Hubler. Works it back out top to Gallagher. That's Tori Hubler with it, trying to set for three. Just a little too strong, but Trista Hubler gets the rebound, and Wamego keeps the possession going. Pearson with it, trying to work her way inside, puts on the brakes, hands it off. Now over to Hubler. Hubler gets a screen, puts on the brakes, and now over to Tori Hubler. Passing it around is Wamego, just trying to find a chink in this defense. As they're getting all sorts of screens and a moving offense. Right now, 45 seconds to play here in the second, 23-9. As Pearson gets a little bit of a lane, puts it a little too strong off the glass, and it misses. And it will be Holton basketball, but Wamego gets the turnover. As some great defense there by Trista Hubler forced Holton to put it off of her shoe. I believe that was Tanking that had it. She put it off her shoe, and Pearson picked it up. So now the Red Raiders set for the final shot here of the first half, up 23-9 in this 4A Sub-State Championship game. Pearson with it, trying to work her way inside. Shoulders, goes to the bucket, can't make it fall. Ball is going to be out of bounds, and it will be Holton basketball. Pearson with a valiant attempt to save it, but it was already out of bounds. The official had already blown the whistle. Holton will get it with 4.5 seconds to play, so basically about enough time to inbound it and heave it. So Paxton coming into the ball game, trying to find somebody down court, can't get there, and instead has to hand it off now to Wisdom. To Allen. And Allen from half court doesn't quite get there. So after one half of play, Wamego well on their way to a state championship tournament berth. They're up 23-9. We're going to pause and be back here in about 10 minutes with more of our broadcast. You're listening to Red Raider basketball here on WTC. I'm Chris Witt. Welcome back to Wamego High School as we get ready for the second half of Sub-State Championship basketball. Wamego will have the ball first to kick off the third quarter as they have the possession arrow. Holton finally breaking the huddle over on the sideline. Chris Wick here tonight with you on WTC. Thank you for joining us as we see who will punch their ticket into the state tournament next week, which will be played the quarterfinals at the higher seed for 4A girls. That will be on Tuesday. Pearson with the basketball, gets it inbounds as the Red Raiders work around. So it's Pearson, Tori Hubler, Alexa Paige Donnelly for three, no good. Cadence Keeker with the ball, or Cadence Keeker also on the floor, as well as Ryan Alderson for Wamego. Paxton, Tanking, as well as Fleewelling, Patch, and Barnett, the original starting five, also for Holton. It's Wisdom with it, actually. Wisdom into the ball game instead of Tanking. So Holton trying to work their way inside. Great defense as the first half was a great defensive effort by Wamego to prevent looks for the Wildcats. As Wisdom gets to the basket, count it. May have taken a couple of extra steps there, but the officials didn't see it. 23-11. First bucket here of the first half. So Wamego goes to work. Pearson with it over on the far side, works her way across the court, gets it over to Alderson. Now it's Donnelly with it. She backs off. The offense takes a second to set up. She gets a good screen. Hands it off to Hubler. Hubler now on the run as we get some motion offense as Donnelly tries to spin inside, backs it back out to Alderson for three. The threes continue to fall even in the second half for Wamego as Alderson buried that one. 26-11 Red Raiders. Taking now into the front court for Holton. Floats the ball to Fleewelling, and she's going to travel with it as she caught it on the run and just couldn't get the ball on the hardwood in time. Turn over to Wamego. A couple of halftime scores in 4A Sub-State to let you know about. McPherson up on Nickerson at the break, 24-19. Clay Center leading Concordia, 29-14. So a couple of scores there in Sub-State as Wamego turns it over as they try to go inside. Barnett with it up inside. She is triple teamed and puts up a bad shot, and it's rebounded though by Holton. As Fleewelling comes down with it. She's now trying to work inside, and they get it over up top to Barnett. Barnett gets a good screen there from Tanking. Hands it off to Wisdom, and Wisdom is going to get poked a little bit as she tried to go inside. She was guarded by Keeker. And that will be a inbound as we get a couple of substitutions already as Barnett's going to take a little bit of a breather, as is Paxton. We're also going to see Keeger come out after picking up her third personal. Maya Gallagher coming in for Wamego. So it's Fleewelling trying to float it inside as the ball's loose on the floor. And jump ball's going to go possession arrow Holton. Macy Patch knocked the inbound away from Maya Gallagher. And there was a scramble on the floor before they both wrapped it up, so the possession arrow stays with Holton. Inbound as, nice block. Ashton Pearson with a nice block, knocked it away from Allen, and she's going to go coast to coast, streaking in. Count the bucket. Nice play there by the sophomore. 28-11 our score. It's Holton now on the attack. It's Allen with it, working with Pearson. Puts on the brakes, pivots, trying to find anywhere open, and we're getting another foul away this time from the action. There was some physicality up in the lane. A bit of a push, and we're going to see Trista Hubler checking into the ball game, giving Ashton Pearson a little bit of a breather. Foul, by the way, goes against Tori Hubler, her second. 2 team fouls already against Wamego, playing very aggressive defense. Inbound to Patch. Patch to Fleewelling. Tries to get it inside to Wisdom. Wisdom puts it on and can't make it fall, just a little bit short. Gallagher with the rebound, and Wamego on the attack as Hubler takes it into the front court. She hands it off to Tori Hubler. As we get a little motion offense right now from Wamego as they try to get inside. 2-3 zone right now being played as the ball goes inside. That was a nice pass by Donnelly to get it inside to Gallagher. And she's going to get fouled on the shot, send it to the lane. It's the first personal. And that foul's going to go against Macy Patrick third. And that's going to send the sophomore to the line. Rattles a little bit, but goes in. And count the bucket as Wamego continues to extend this lead out. Well, second attempt a little too strong off the back of the iron. And Holton gets the rebound. Allen with the ball. She's going into the front court. Trista Hubler, right interface, has to pass it off. Very aggressive man defense for the Red Raiders. As Allen with it, gets it back to Wisdom. Wisdom back to Allen. 4:10 to play here in the third. It's 29-11 Wamego. And we're going to get a foul called. I believe. Trying to see who that was called against. And the official signaled somebody who wasn't on the court, so there was a little bit of confusion. So the foul's going to go against Trista Hubler, her first. And so it will be Holton basketball. 3 team fouls already for the Red Raiders. As it's tanking with it, trying to work inside against Hubler. Double team now, has to pick up her dribble, and it's stolen away. Stolen away by Ryan Alverson. She goes coast to coast, puts in the layup, count the basket. And it's a 20-point lead for Wamego. 21-11 right now with 3:45 to play in the third. Allen gets into the front court. Kicks it off to Wisdom. Now up underneath to Fleewelling. Doesn't really get a good handle on it. Has to back it back out. Tanking with it. Gets a screen. She's guarded by Tori Hubler. Gets another screen. Pops up for three. Count it. That was a nice shot there for Sadie Tanking. And it's 31-14. That actually might be the first three make of Holton of the night. So it's Tori Hubler with it to Alderson, back to Trista Hubler. She thought about a three, instead passes it off, and the ball's poked away. But Wamego retains possession just inside the arc. Nice high arc on that one for Tori Hubler, as Wamego continues to answer back. So it's Allen into the front court right now for Holton. Gets a screen from Tanking. Oh, nice aggressive defense by Donnelly. Almost pokes the ball away from Fleewelling. Unfortunately, Holton gets the ball back. As Wisdom has to back it back out once again to Fleewelling. Across the court to Tanking that time for a long two. That was just inside the arc. Count the bucket. We're going to get a timeout taken on the floor. 2:23 to play in the third. As it's a full timeout taken by Holton. So 33-16 is our score here in the third quarter. 2:23 to play. Again, state basketball coming up next week. The 4A boys qualifiers. Last night, of course, Wamego lost a heartbreaker to Holton. McPherson beat Bueller. Abilene took down Concordia. Augusta beat Andale in a great game. Rose Hill over Clearwater. Bishop Miege, to no surprise, beat up on Tonganoxie, as well as Lewisburg over Iola, and then Parsons and Chanute. So those games will be played coming up starting on Monday for the boys quarterfinals in Class 4A. The girls will start playing on Tuesday, and again, the quarterfinals will be at the higher seed. So, for instance, if it were to be, say, Wamego and Bishop Miege, most likely that game will be on the road at Bishop Miege on Tuesday. Then the 4A semis and finals will all be in Salina at the Tony's Pizza Event Center, the former Bicentennial Center. Wamego basketball as we come out of the timeout, 33-16. is our score as the inbound goes to Trista Hubler. Looks like Holton's gone to more of a man defense, and Wamego takes advantage as Paige Donnelly got to the baseline, put the layup in, and the foul. She's going to go to the line for the and one. 35-16 right now with Donnelly in an attempt to make it a 20-point game once again. In and out, no good. Holton gets the rebound. May have given her the announcer's jinx there. As Paxton has it now for Holton, kicks it over to Patch. Patch for a long two, no good. As Hubler comes down with it for Wamego, and she's going to get timeout taken on the floor by Wamego. That was a great timeout taken by Brian McIntosh. As Hubler was getting double-teamed and either going to lose the possession arrow or get it knocked out of bounds on her. 2 minutes to play here in the third. 35-16 is our score as we continue to play this 4A Sub-State basketball. Again, trying to get you score updates and having trouble finding some from 4A Sub-State. But we will continue to update you on those as they continue to come in. As again, really the ones that we've been able to find so far are McPherson as well as Clay Center and Concordia. That would be McPherson and Nickerson. Out of the timeout as Wamego goes on the attack. As Alderson has it, gets it inside to Denny. Backs it back out to Donnelly for three. Guarded at that, count the bucket, and it's 38-16. Tanking with the ball into the front court. Double teamed there. And we're going to get a blocking foul as Donnelly wasn't quite set before she took the contact. She was almost there. If it had been another half second, she would have been planted. Donnelly coming out. We're going to see Pearson checking back in. We're also going to see Trista Hubler coming out as well in favor of Alexis Billings for Wamego. The float in goes to Wisdom. Holton trying to get something set up. Stacy Bond with it. She gets it off to Tanking. A long two, no good. Wisdom with the follow-up, no good. Ball is loose as Pearson throws it up into the air, and Wamego comes down with it. Ashton Pearson almost impaled herself on the wall saving that, but Wamego does come up with the basketball. 1:08 to play here in the third, 38-16. Trista Hubler with it now, gets it up top to Denny. Pearson with it, trying to work her way inside. Instead gets it off to Alderson. Billings with it now, trying to get inside, and it looked like be more of the zone that was working against Wamego in the first half. They briefly went to man and got burned by it, so now Holton back to the zone. Billings gets a little bit of a lane, goes inside, does not get the whistle. A rebound goes to Pearson, the floater no good. Rebound that time for Denny, she rolls it in. The Red Raiders are rolling 40-16, 20 seconds to play here in the third. Taking into the front court for Holton, fires it over on the near side to Paxton. As Holton trying to get something, anything to work here. Great defense here in the third quarter by the Red Raiders. There's a steal by Denny, and she's been all over the court all night long. That's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow goes to Wamego. Man, Addison Denny is going to get some floor burns for all the amount of time she has taken to going onto the court here tonight. But man, she's played some great defense. And that is the end of the third quarter. Your Wamego Red Raiders up 40-16 over Holton. We've got 8 minutes to play for a state tournament berth for one of these two teams going to the state tournament for the first time since 2014. I'm Chris Wink here on WTC. Thank you for joining us, both on cable access and on the live stream. We appreciate you tuning in here tonight. Once again, we're playing some great sub-state basketball. Last night, even though it didn't end the way we wanted it to for the Red Raiders, a fantastically played game against these same Holton Wildcats, who brought a good crowd on the road. In fact, it's a great crowd here tonight still, this afternoon I should say. It's only just about 4 o'clock. So we've got 8 minutes to play. 40-16 is our score as we get ready here for the sub-state championship game. Wamego will get the ball to start out. As yes, indeed, the band is hot. Hubler with the ball on the inbound. She kicks it over to Pearson. Now up top to Billings. A little bit of a double team situation there. Has to hand it off to Trista Hubler. Over to Pearson on the near side. Puts up the three. Count it. Nice three-pointer there by Ashton Pearson. 43-16. The lead keeps growing for the Red Raiders. Is a nice sequence there as Tanky gets it to Barnett up underneath. And she lays it in to get back on the scoring side of things. 43-18. Billings with it for the Red Raiders. Kicks it over to Alderson for three. Why not? No good. But hey, everything else has been falling for the Red Raiders. Might as well take a heat check and see if you can get anybody to score three. Allen into the front court for Holton. She gets it off to Fleewelling. Double teamed a little bit. She has to hand it off to Barnett. Barnett heaves it. Gets her own rebound. Puts up a jump shot and no good in the lane. She was guarded on that one. As Billings floats it into the lane, up underneath, count it to Ryan Alderson. Nice offensive flurry there from Billings and Alderson. As everything is clicking right now for the Red Raiders. Patch with it. Tries to go inside, stumbles a little bit, ball pumped up in the air. She comes down with it, wide open on the far side is Allen for three, no good rolling off. Fleewelling comes down with it, kicks it out now to Patch. Patch for a long two. And she's going to take a tumble to the floor. And Patch was the one that kind of went down hard there at the second quarter. And she is back into the ball game, but you can tell she's still smarting a little bit as I think after she takes a shot, and actually the officials are going to see if she's even capable of taking a shot. She gave a good effort, but she's definitely not 100% right now. So coming into the ball game in her place is Lindsay Wisdom. You got to give the junior some credit for trying to get back out there because she took a wallop there in the first half, and you could tell she is hurting. So Wisdom will take the shots in place of Patch. Wisdom's first of two goes up and in. By the way, the foul was against Addison Denny, her third. And Denny is going to take a seat as well as Alexis Billings. We'll see Donnelly back into the ball game as the second attempt is no good. Also back in is Cadence Keeker for Wamego. Pearson with the ball now after the second attempt misses. Over to Trista Hubler. Works her way up top, now over to Alderson. It's now Pearson with it over on the near sideline. Floats it across to Alderson. Now over into the corner to Donnelly. Donnelly up top to Pearson. She gets a little bit of a lane, but walks with it, and that's going to turn it over to Holton. Under 6 to play here in the ball game. Wamego with a commanding lead, 45-19. So the inbound now to Holton. It's going to be Fleewelling taking it across the timeline, running the point. Pearson right in her face. Almost falls into a screen from Barnett, but Pearson pokes the ball away and armlessly cannot get her feet underneath her. Man, that was going to be a great breakaway for Pearson as she stole the ball and just could not keep her feet. Had a big smile on her face afterwards, too. So Holton gets the ball back after Pearson unfortunately knocks it out of bounds. And so Allen has it right now, working against Donnelly. Trying to the front court. Pearson almost gets another steal behind the back that time. Holton maintains possession, and that time it's just ripped out of the hands of Tanking by Alderson, and Pearson goes inside around Barnett. Count the bucket. What a great move there by Pearson, and an even better move to steal the ball away from Alderson, and it's 47-19, 5 to play. And we get a charge by Amira Allen. She kind of leaned in right there against Paige Donnelly. And that is going to be a foul against Allen, her first personal, third team foul against the Wildcats. 5 fouls, by the way, for the team for Wamego. As Donnelly kicks it over to Trista Hubler. Now over to the corner to Alderson. Back up top to Pearson. Pearson back to Alderson. Alderson gets it to Donnelly. Just a little too much on the pass. She has to chase it down, but it still stays with Wamego. Over to Hubler. Hubler thought about a 3. Instead, really Wamego just eating clock right now as they're passing it around the perimeter. Pearson backs it out to Alderson. Alderson across the court to Donnelly. Donnelly again thought about a 3. Instead pulls up, and again, Wamego really just eating the clock. Alderson for 3. Yes! On target, nothing but net, 50-19. What a pretty shot by Ryan Anderson. Holton on the attack as Allen just drives into the front court. It's Barnett now over to Paxton. Paxton across the court to Allen. Tried to float it inside to Taking, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds as both Trista Hubler and Keeker were both there. Hubler and Pearson are going to take a seat. We're going to see Billings return to the lineup, as does Tori Hubler. And the inbound just kind of goes nowhere, and it's Paxton that has to chase it down for Holton. She puts up the shot outside the lane as Alderson tried to draw the charge. Long 2 attempt there by Barnett, no good, as Hubler gets tangled up on the floor with Stacy Bond. But Wamego does come up with the ball off the rebound. So Donnelly with the ball into the front court. 3:18 to play. Wamego solidly in control of this one as they're trying to get to the state for the first time since 2014. Hubler with it over right in front of her own bench. And again, Wamego's really just trying to eat some time here. They're not going for the quick buckets. Really, they're just trying to get inside. As that one goes inside, count the bucket to Keeker. And the lead continues to grow for Wamego. Bond with it against Billings in the front court. Man defense right now for Wamego. Barnett with it up top. Wanting to go inside, but there's not a lot of room there. Keeker right in front of her. So they get inside to Wisdom, and she's going to get knocked around as she puts up the bucket. As we're going to get 2 shots on that one. That's a first personal against Alexis Billings. 6 team fouls. As Wisdom puts that one in. Taylor Moore checking into the ball game for Emma Barnett, giving the senior a chance to get some air, as we're going to get a line change pretty much for Wamego at the next buzzer. The second shot one misses, 52-21. And we're going to get a timeout taken by Wamego as he's going to try to just change out the line and get his seniors or his starters off the floor as they put in a masterful effort tonight against Holton. So coming into the ball game for Wamego will be Ellie Starkey, as well as Kirby McKee. Grace Williams and Paige Donnelly was already on the floor. Maya Gallagher also out there as well. Seniors coming out as well for the Wildcats, as Sadie Tanking is going to take a seat. Also seeing Lindsay Wisdom coming out as well. So right now it's Wamego with the ball as Donnelly pops up for 3. Why not? No good. Rebound, Bond with it for Holton. She's on the run. And collides hard. Oh, wow. Wow, that will be a charge, but Paige Donnelly, her head bounced off the court. She's up and walking around, but that could not feel good as she just collided with Stacy Bond. She's insisting she stay out there. Donnelly was trying to stay out there. We're going to see Pearson checking back into the ball game. The officials called an injury timeout. I think she had to come out, but she took a heck of a hit there from Stacy Bond. That was a charge, Bond's first personal. We're down to about 90 seconds to play here as Pearson comes in, hands it off to McKee. McKee back in between the circles to Gallagher. Pearson with it, drives to the basket, puts up the lay-in, no good, rolls it off the rim. Ball loose, Pearson gets it. Minute 13 to play. Is Starkey with it, over to Gallagher, now over to McKee. She dribbles around up top now to Williams. Pearson with it. Pearson double teamed, gets it off now to McKee. And again, Wamego really just killing the clock here. They're not going to, I think, race to get another bucket here. Instead, just trying to eat the clock and get the win. 52-20 is our score right now as we're down to the final 40 seconds in a Wamego State Championship berth in the 4A State Tournament. Three-pointer tip from McKee, buries it. I don't know if that's exactly the plan from Mike McIntosh, but McKee got the three, and it's 55-20 with 20 seconds to play. I believe we're in running clock territory as the clock continues to run. We're down to 15 seconds as Holton inbounds it as Delaney New is into the ball game. She has it right now. And there's a shot attempt that's knocked out by Pearson. And that's going to be the ball game. They're not going to get it inbound. We'll get one foul to end it. And that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Your Wamego Red Raiders are going to state. 55-20. A commanding performance from beginning to end. Pretty much for the Wamego Red Raiders. And they're going to go to the state tournament next week. Again, they will start play on Tuesday at the Higher Seeds site. So again, if it happens to be like Bishop Miege, they will be playing at Bishop Miege for the quarterfinals before the semis and the finals move to Salina on a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday next week at the Tony's Pizza Event Center, the former Bicentennial Center. So again, that will be, the girls will play on Friday if they make it to the semifinal round. We'll find out tomorrow what the seedings are for the girls' state tournament. The boys' seedings have already been released. The girls will be announced after all of the games have been completed. Again, congratulations to the Wamego Red Raiders, making it to state for the first time since 2014 with a 55-20 win over Holton. I'm Chris Swick. Thanks for joining us here tonight, and thank you for joining us last night as well here at Wamego High School for sub-state basketball action. You've been listening to Red Raider basketball and watching it too. Old radio guy. Kind of get into habits. But thank you for joining us here on WTC, and good luck at state to the Red Raiders.